Hey there, viewers! It's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Classics Rodimus. Now, this is actually my second time reviewing this figure, as well, the first time was back in 2021, and now we're nearly into 2024. Oh. But anyway, that initial figure was actually some sort of weird amalgamation, because most of the figure was Classics Rodimus, but the chest was from the Reveal the Shield version for whatever reason. I have no idea. I mean, it was a bonus I got with Revenge of the Fallen Swerve anyway, so. But yeah, I'd since gotten rid of that figure, and now I've got a full-on proper version of the figure. So yeah. Now, normally I would show off the box, but yeah, I don't have the box of this guy. I mean, it would be crazy of me to buy a sealed figure from 2006 just to open. But I mean, I have done it before. I've done it with Snowcat, but yeah. Point is, I don't have this guy's box. But the Classics boxes were kind of cool because they had this little flap where you could lift up to show the character in robot mode. And of course, this was back when figures were still on cards instead of boxes. So yeah. But point is, I don't have this guy's box, so let's just move on straight to the figure. So yeah, here's Rodimus. No, not Hot Rod. This was before they had the trademark back. I think it was like Time's Return that they got the trademark back, so yeah. So we had to go through a period of time where they just had to go with Rodimus, or Rodimus Major, or even just Rodimus Prime. But yeah, come on, this is meant to be Hot Rod. Or a stylized version of Hot Rod, because yeah, this is Classics. They weren't just full on bringing characters back like they do now. They sort of reinvented characters, because I remember, like, the Seekers had different paint jobs. Bumblebee was a small hatchback instead of a Volkswagen. Prime had this weird wind vane thing on him. Megatron was a Nerf gun. So yeah, Classics and Universe sort of just reinvented characters, and I kind of missed that thing that they did. I guess like the Prime characters in Legacy sort of redo that, but anyways, looking at the details on Rodimus here, well, of course he's got the flame details, and he's got the flame details on the hood. He's got the engine right here. So, and in fact, that actually carries out to the side, which I think is a really nice detail. Of course, we've got the side bits here. Unfortunately, unlike the G1 design, they don't cover the wheels, but oh well. Yeah, the exhaust still looks really nice though. Got the spoiler, which actually transforms in a really unique way. Here we actually have a rub sign, which the Classics figures had. And well, seeing how it's really cold today, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to activate this. Well, kind of. Like, we went from one of the hottest summers ever to it being really cold out today, so, but yeah, it's sort of working. So, yeah. And I do kind of wish that they bring this back on a bigger scale than just select Galvatron, but, And underneath, we could pretty much just see a What is that? I can't even speak. We've got a gap here for the weapon. There's a screw right there, so if you want to customize the figure, then there you go. Got some internal details, and this looks to be a left-hand drive car. So, yeah. And he actually rolls quite well, because these are pinned wheels, which is a rarity nowadays. So, yeah. Now for accessories, we get this gun, or in fact, it's a missile launcher. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have this with my first version. So to have it now is actually really nice. So, yeah. So it's meant to be a gun with a flame for a missile. So this is pretty much a precursor to the blast effects. And with this being a missile launcher, it fires. And it actually fires quite far. I mean, you could definitely take someone's eye out with this. Not that I recommend that you do, but like, seriously, if I fire this up, yeah, that gets some serious airtime. We don't get missile gimmicks nowadays with Transformers. So yeah, this is definitely something I miss. I mean, like, even with the G1 reissues, they don't include the missile firing gimmick. If I remember correctly, either that or they just elongate the missiles. I think they just don't include the spring for the missile launcher with the modern reissues. So yeah, and this can actually store just right here. Hence why we have the gap here. So now it actually looks like some sort of exhaust ports. And now the flame effect makes sense. So, yeah. I don't know why he'd fire a full-on flame at a Decepticon though, but yeah, there you go. So, yeah. And well, that's pretty much all I have to say about the vehicle mode. Overall, I really like this. I mean, if I was to put in with Studio Series Hot Rod, which, I mean, the only version of that mod I have is the Shattered Glass version, so I didn't put it with this guy. If I was to put it with the Studio Series version, yeah, sure, the Studio Series version is more accurate, but I think I'd still prefer this version, because I just think this looks really nice. And you can also do attack mode by just folding that forward. So if you want to do that, then, well, there you go. And yeah, well, let's just move on to the transformation. So yeah, just start off by flipping out the spoiler, like so. Come into here, take the back wheels and just push them out. Take these bits of the exhausts and flip them down to form his kneecaps. Spin around his feet. Try and get the heels out. There we go, that's one. Yeah, there's a bit of your fingernail that you have to get into. There we go. Then move the legs down. So now we have his legs done. Pull the arms out. And this is actually really cool. If you look at this bit of the windshield here, that's actually his head. So if I just move the arms forward, if we look at this bit of the windshield here, that's actually his head. Like, that's actually the light piping bit of his head. And I think that's actually really ingenious. And I don't think I noticed that when I first got the original version of this figure. So, yeah, that's ingenious. I love that. Yeah, just tap the chest in. Spin around the windshields, just like the original figure. Then spin around the two spoiler sections, which are just on mushroom joints. Get the fists out. Again, this could be easier said than done. There we go. And here we have Rodimus in robot mode. And yeah, if you were to compare that with the Studio Series transformation, this guy is a lot simpler. And in fact, I find it a bit more fun. In fact, a lot more fun. Like, yeah, the Studio Series version is replicating a transformation from one scene of the movie, but this is doing its own thing. So, yeah. And we're just having a 360. Of course, we've got the port in the back if you just want to store the weapon. Of course, this is pre-siege. In fact, this is the first iteration of Chug, so yeah, not going to be a lot of ports anywhere. The only ones, in fact, the only ones aside from that are the hands. But anyway, looking at the head, of course, as I said, this was the era of light piping. I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, if I cover that, then the eyes go darker. And yeah, like light piping, it's not a lost cause nowadays. It certainly was in like the Prime Wars trilogy, but it's definitely rare now. Like the only figures nowadays that I can think of that have it are the Siege Seekers, the new Studio Series Ultra Magnus. Yeah, like that shows how rare it is. I can barely think of any figures that have it. That just shows how rare it is nowadays. Whereas back then, almost every figure had it. Whereas nowadays, it's basically like the Siege Seekers, Studio Series Ultra Magnus, Legacy Laser Prime. And that's all I can think of. And it's probably, I'm sure there's more, but that's all I can think of. But yeah, now, giving this guy his weapon, of course we just plug this in, and he can just hold that. I'm pretty sure that's not 5mm though, so he can just, yeah, that's not 5mm, so he can just hold this and that's it. But of course this can't fire. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure on other releases the projectile is purple, so I'm not sure if this is like a UK version where it's red or what. I don't know. But it still fires really well. Now, of course, seeing how this is pre-siege, we can't put the we can't put the blast effects on the feet, but well, he has heals, so Let's move on to the articulation. Well, his head can go side to side. His arms are on ball joints. He's got elbows. He can't really T-pose, unfortunately. He's got elbows, although unfortunately these can't swivel. Waist, there's nothing. Legs can go forward that far. Back, this gets in the way. Knees. Oh, heel pushed in. So yeah, we've got knees, although just push this out the way. You can do the splits. You can sort of do that if you want. Swivel there. And if he can move, and hand can go in. So yeah. Of course, nowhere near as posable as modern figures. I think that's the one bit where this falls flat. But other than that, I really like this figure. I'm fairly certain I called this outdated in my first review of this guy, but I no longer hold that sentiment. I think that this figure holds up. Oh, this fell over. Yeah, I think this figure still holds up to this day. That a lot of classics figures still hold up to this day, in my opinion. Like Mirage, for example, Bumblebee, the Seekers, which I mean, Hadro agrees with me on that one because they're still using the Earthrise Seeker mold to this day, which is pretty much just like that's just an upscaled classic Seeker. I even like the Classics Prime mold. So yeah. So complaints with this guy. Well, I'm not going to knock the articulation because this was just coming off of Cybertron. This is just meant to be a filler line for the movies. So, yeah. I'm not going to knock the articulation because this is like, what, 2006? 2005? So, yeah, I'm not going to knock on that. Actual complaints. Well, these are just on the mushroom joints, so I'm not sure if these can easily come off. Probably not, but these can be sort of easy. In fact, these can be sort of hard to transform. Like, you have to lift this up to move them. I just find that a little bit annoying. I also find pulling the wheels out to transform them kind of annoying too. Plus, the heels can be a bit annoying as well, in my opinion, like, trying to get them out. Plus, when you're trying to transform the chest, the shoulders can also collide. But, other than that, I like this figure. So, do I recommend him? Well, yeah. Like, I know we have Studio Series Hot Rod, Kingdom Rodimus, even the Time to Town Hot Rod, but I still think that this guy holds up. I know in my old review I said that this guy was outdated, but that's far from the truth. This guy might be like, what, nearly 18, but this is still a really good figure. I mean, sure, he might not be as articulated as the Studio Series version, but come on, he's got a firing missile launcher. That's cool. Plus, I just love how ingenious it is that part of the light piping forms the windshield. Like, this guy does a lot of ingenious stuff. Like, I actually forgot to mention, he's got a flip-out buzzsaw. I forgot to mention that. Like, this guy does a lot of cool stuff. I mean, yeah, like, Classic Zen Universe were kind of cool. There were a few stinkers, Einhard, Galvatron, but still, they were cool. And this figure shows that. Sure, it's not a Mirage, but this is still a really fun figure that, well, if you're not a fan of like the Studio Series version, then I'd say maybe pick this guy up. There was even a third-party upgrade set that turned him into Rodimus Prime. So, yeah. So, this has been my review on Classics Rodimus, and this is Charlie Young signing off.